One second you're here, the next you're in another world. Welcome to Animeology, and today we'll be taking a look at 10 transferred to another world anime. These are all anime protagonists that either passed on via truck or other means of death, or stumbling across a strange new land. These unique worlds all have their share of fantasy in the form of dragons, magic, or even anthropomorphic animals. Before we begin, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more anime top 10s, and without further ado, let's get right into the list. Number 10. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. After spending the first 14 years of his life helping out whoever needed his help, Iruma Suzuki was sold to a demon for a lot of money. However, it's not all bad, since it turned out that his new owner is actually Sullivan, a kind and powerful demon longing to have a grandson. Sullivan gave Iruma all the things that he was never given access to as a child, such as food to stuff himself until he was full, and even enrolling Iruma into Babylon's school for demons. However, there's a problem. Iruma can never reveal that he's a human, since he'll be eaten if anyone finds out. Number 9. The Eighth Son? Are you kidding me? The next entry on this list is actually a pretty new anime. This show follows the story of Ichinomi Shinigo, a 25-year-old office worker who awakens in the body of Wendlin, the 8th son of an impoverished noble family. Like most isekai anime, the main character over time develops overpowered abilities, but his abilities and noble title wind up interfering with the life that he worked so hard to achieve. While this show isn't anything revolutionary in its themes, it's a good watch if you can turn off your brain. Number 8. The Boy and the Beast. While escaping into the streets of Shibuya, the now orphan boy Ren decides to hide in an alleyway. There he meets Kamtetsu, a warrior beast who is on the search for a human disciple. Even though Ren declined his offer, he followed Kamtetsu, finding himself in the beautiful Beast Kingdom. There, Ren reunites with Kamtetsu and is given the same offer. With no place to call home, Ren agrees to be Kamtetsu's disciple. Despite their constant bickering, Ren and Kamtetsu begin training together and slowly form a bond resembling that of a father and son. Brought to us from the same mind that created Wolf Children, you should definitely expect brilliant writing and heartwarming scenes.
Well, every father in the world enjoys it when his son imitates him, doesn't he?
Number 7. Outbreak Company. Outbreak Company follows the story of Shinichi Kanoyu, a shut-in otaku with a vast knowledge of anime and video games who hopes to escape his secluded lifestyle by working and getting a job. But in the midst of this, he's kidnapped and transported to a world filled with elves, dragons, and dwarves. Shinichi was given the job of spreading otaku culture throughout this new realm. Whoever thought that being an otaku would come with so many responsibilities? Since this anime's gimmick is to spread otaku culture, you should expect a lot of references from other anime and manga. Number 6. Ascendance of a Bookworm.
これどのくらい乾かしたらいいんだろうね。さあ、いっそ焼いてみようか。余計なことはしない方がいい。
また爆発するぞ。
You've probably heard the phrase knowledge is power. One of the fundamental elements of power comes from books. This phrase remains as true as ever. Ascendance of a bookworm follows a bookworm named Mine, who is reincarnated into another world as she hopes to regain her ability to read.
作って欲しいの欲しいの欲しいの欲しいの欲しいのやってみよう。父さん素敵。
In Mine's previous life, she was a book-loving college student and soon-to-be librarian. She wished for nothing more than to be able to read for all eternity. However, she ended up getting crushed to death by a pile of books during an earthquake. She reawakens as a 5-year-old named Mine in a new world where books are scarce and only available to the highly elite.
何これ。
In order to satisfy her hunger from her previous life, Mine decides to create and print her own books so that she can read once again.
表面が滑らかになるように削ってそこに字を書けば出来上がり。
Number 5. Wise Man's Grandchild.
いいみんな、全力で魔力障壁を展開するのよ。
いや、多分大丈夫かと。
A young salaryman is hit by a truck and is reincarnated into a new world as a baby. There, this child is found in a carriage that was attacked by demons by Merlin Wolford, one of the most well-known heroes in his time. With no parents anywhere to be found, Merlin brought it upon himself to raise this child. Growing up soaking the teachings of Merlin and combining it with his own knowledge of science from his previous world, Shin is able to cast and magnify magical abilities to an extent that no one in this world believed possible. To make matters worse, Shin lacks any form of common sense and restraint when it comes to his abilities. As a result, he often unintentionally makes himself the center of attention, and oh boy, when he's angry, you do not want to be on the receiving end. Number 4. Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. Taking a slower take on the Isekai genre, Grimgar focuses on a novice party and their daily exploits and struggles. Instead of having a main character that is extremely overpowered in the beginning, the main party of this show works together to complete some of the most basic of monster killing. With this show's stunning visuals and amazing soundtrack, it truly came to a surprise to me that this anime went under the radar for a lot of people. This is a show that I definitely recommend for you to check out. Although a season 2 has yet been announced, the first season has a pretty satisfying ending. Number 3. Restaurant to Another World.
Chicken pairs the best with this white rice.
Utter nonsense, teriyaki. This pork loin cutlet is quite clearly what pairs the best with white rice.
Taking a more Food Wars approach to the Isekai anime is Restaurant to Another World. This show is based on a restaurant where every Saturday a magical door appears that allows a group of lucky creatures to pass through. These creatures can be anything from dragons to humans, all coming from a fantasy realm.
Rice bowl! It cannot exist without rice! Delicious.
Bearing a severe resemblance to Food Wars, you should expect a ton of good-looking food from this anime. Each episode focuses on a new creature that enters through the portal to taste something that's not available in their own land. One of the most interesting parts of this anime is seeing the food preferences from all the different beings that come by.
Restaurant. So if you're going to keep this up, well, I'll never cook for any of you again.
Number 2. Kona Super, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World.
俺、じゃんけんで負けたことねえから。
Kona Super is easily the funniest entry on this list. After dying a pretty pitiful death, our protagonist Kazuma was granted the option to be reincarnated into another world by the goddess Aqua, while being able to bring one object or ability along with him. This anime follows the daily life of a dysfunctional party consisting of the masochistic paladin Darkness, unintelligent archpriest Aqua, and the girl who can only use explosion magic once per day Megumin, making Kazuma the only relatively useful member of his own team aside from his poor stats. Number 1. That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Operation complete.
Tensura follows the story of Satori Mikami, an everyday corporate worker who in the midst of talking to his colleagues becomes the victim to a random assailant on the street by getting stabbed. After regaining his consciousness, he finds that he is reincarnated into a slime. Satori quickly noticed that he retained a pretty overpowered ability, the ability to devour anything and mimic its appearance and attributes. The ability to devour and manifest the abilities of others is pretty overpowered. Rimuru has been shown to do various things in the show, such as creating healing potions and learning the Black Lightning ability from Veldora. Despite this, Tensura is a pretty story-driven show and is definitely not lacking in that department.